Hey, I'm not dead yet, and it's March. It's 2024. It's a rainy day here in Japan, and I can't stop thinking about Albania. Found this old video from Saranda. I never posted it because it sucked, but if you want to watch it, great. If not, thank you for at least clicking, and hope you have a great day. But this video will kind of break out the basics of Saranda. It doesn't get into a lot of the details of what to do or pricing or anything like that. Just kind of an orientation video of, yeah, just an orientation of Saranda. It shows you some nice footage of the bay. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Take care. Bye. Hey, good morning. It's June 2023. I'm here in Saranda. I'm at the port. This is going to be a little welcome guide or beginner's guide to Saranda. So when you get to Saranda, you're going to get to Saranda by one of three ways. You're going to come by ferry, by bus, or by car, private car, taxi. One of those three will be the most common way people get here. A lot of people come by ferry because 30 minutes away on the little fast ferry right there, I think that's the fast ferry, that's the fast ferry, is Corfu. And Corfu has a great airport and very efficient international services. So getting in and out of Corfu internationally is really easy. Getting in and out of Saranda is easy if you use Corfu, but if you don't, you're flying into Triana, and then it's a 4+ hour bus ride down. And you've got to time the bus and the whole thing. And getting the bus from the airport isn't the simplest thing. You have to go into town, go to the bus terminal. You can go to Duraz and then catch a bus there, but it's not as reliable, in my opinion. That's just an opinion. I'm sure it's plenty reliable, but you know, when you don't do it all the time, it's a little more confusing. The bus terminal at Saranda is very easy to use. You just show up, you pay your money, and you get on the next bus that's got room. So super simple. Okay, so once you've made it to Saranda, then what? You're probably gonna be hot, tired. If it's summertime, probably gonna be sweating. And you're gonna wanna get to your hotel. So before you get here, you're gonna wanna know if your hotel is walking distance or not. So out here, Saranda wraps around this bay. It goes even farther than you can see here. I would say anything along the promenade is walkable, which is right about there. Anything beyond that, especially if you have luggage, I would consider taking a taxi. Anything going up hillside, you see the sun's just breaking thing. Anything going this way, you know, there's some hills there, so it's walkable, but it kind of depends on how far you're going. I noticed there's a bunch of hotels that are a decent clip away, going back towards the west there. You can see the sun's rising in the east, right? Let's all orientate ourselves. So the sun rises here and then travels right across, so you don't really ever get the sunset over the water or the sunrise over the water. It comes up over this mountain and sets over the mountain behind me here. It just kind of goes like that right across the bay. But it does offer great sunset views because you're looking out over the water towards Corfu, towards Greece, and so you get these, you know, great reds out there in the sky at night. So let's talk about Saranda once you get here. Let me turn the camera around. Okay, so once you get here, you're gonna filter into that terminal building and go through customs. Usually we walk off the boat. And if you're here early in the morning, like I am, it's not even 6 o'clock. The only place I found reliably to be open and have coffee if you have an early ferry is right up here, straight across from the Phoenix lines. Phoenix is one of the ferries, but this place with the blue railing they're usually the first people open. You can see a charter bus. A lot of charter buses will roll through town here, and some are doing tours and some, you know, locally, but most are just dropping people off or picking them up at the ferry. And then when a cruise ship comes through, you'll see a lot of ferries as well. So as we meander down here, we only have one taxi. Wow. So in the morning, or if you jump off the ferry and you want a taxi, all you have to do is walk out the door. That's the port there, that's the ferry. You'll come up this little street here, and this row is usually just full of taxis. Taxis in Albania are pretty legit. You just make sure they use the meter or negotiate a price you're happy with. You know, I'm not going to get into pricing, because pricing changes, especially as fuel prices change, but they're more than happy to negotiate with you. So that's where you'll come out, and then it's just a simple walk up here, and you take a right down to the promenade. Now if you're going like to the other end of the promenade, I would just take the right, go to the promenade, and then, you know, find your exit point and head up into the city. The city's, you know, we got that crescent shape, half moon shape, and it's vertical. So, you know, once you're at the water's edge, in fact, they refer to it in different tiers or different levels. What level are you staying on? And it's just the roads run, you know, around the rim of the city at different levels. So this is the stairway down, and it's pretty hard to miss. That'll take you down to the promenade. Now when I got off the ferry, first thing I did is I hit an ATM right here. May or may not be the best ATM. I usually use a different one in town. Stopped here and got some cold water. There are a couple other stores on the right, but I like to just get away from the ferry area. And the first time I was here was a year ago. I didn't know anything about Albania, didn't know anything about anything. So I was just like, you know, wandering around lost. I stopped here. It's a good little breather, catch your bearing. And then if you need Wi-Fi or food or coffee, this is my favorite place. And I am 100% biased. But the nice thing about that is Google agrees with me. So it's Joan Cafe, and they've got screaming Wi-Fi. I missed the sign. And it's a nice little place to get a snack, rest. There's the sign. And they're on Instagram and Google, but it's a great place to get a snack, rest before the ferry or after the ferry, before you head to your hotel. And so again, that's the ferry area. Now here's where Saranda gets really simple. There's 3 big grocery stores. If you're going to be here a while, you're going to want to know about. So one of them is you come out of the ferry and you make a left and you go around and you'll run into a grocery store on the left. The other 2 major grocery stores I found that I really like, you come down here, you take a left and you head out, and you can look for them on the map. Look for the stadium. There's a soccer stadium out there. One of them's right across from the soccer stadium, Planet Market or something. And then Halo is down farther on the right. Halo's more like a Walmart, has everything from underwear to fine liquor. The relevance of this junction here, it can't be understated, because it not only is it the turn to the ferry, but if you're going to catch the bus to Samil, there's a public bus that runs right there. I'm not going to post a schedule because I've noticed that changes too. But you know, basically every hour there's a public bus to Samil, and it's right now I think it's 200 lek, 250 lek, maybe 150 lek, I can't remember. But it's, you know, change compared to a, you know, $20 or $30, 30 euro, you know, taxi ride. And it drops you off right in Semil, right on the main road. It's great. It also takes you to Buchanan. So if you want to go see the Buchanan site, historical site, you know, it's a great thing. Just show up here early in the morning would be my advice. Catch the first bus you can. Get down there in the morning time, and you know, you're all set. Now, heading out to the left on this main drag, you'll find tons of shops of everything. You know, this whole first like 2 rings, lower rings, is nothing but shopping. These guys offer and sell you a bunch of stuff, and I'm gonna cut the camera and then pick it up around the corner. Okay, I was talking about the bus stop to Semil. It is straight up this road. So when you come down from the port, you turn a right and you'll kind of look for the Ferris wheel. There's a beautiful, I don't know if you like old stuff or not, but there's a beautiful old stone building here. And somebody told me it was a flower plant, like they made flour. I don't know the history of it, but I just love the stonework. I think it's great. It's just really pretty to me. And then here's the real relevant thing: is this is a farmer's market of sorts. So you can get everything from Rocky to blueberries here. They've got, you know, local olive oils. They've got everything you could want. If it grows, you can find it here. It's probably the biggest like produce market I've seen. And again, it's right across from the Ferris wheel. This road will eventually catch up with the promenade, and we're gonna head over towards the bus station. I'll kind of give you an orientation if you land by bus. But that's basically it. Is, you know, once you come in by ferry, you know, getting to your hotel is pretty simple. Either you walk or take a taxi. And if you're walking, you know, just have an idea of where you're at. I always orientate to the promenade because the way the city's set up, it's just this, you know, like crescent shape of roads that circle the bay, or encircle the bay. And pretty popular pizza spot here. Proper pizza. Popular, proper pizza. And you can see that's the promenade down there at the ferry. And you can see how close this all is, right? And then we're gonna come down here and make a left and go up to the bus station. And I'll show you that. The promenade continues around, obviously, and right on the other side of this restaurant, they sell fish every morning. There's a little fish market where the fishermen come in. They sell right off the boat. Really wonderful. If you have an Airbnb and you like fish, hit that place early before all the good ones are gone. So here we are, the ancient ruins. It's a synagogue. Don't ask me to pronounce any of that. But this is also the bus station. May not look like it, but right here behind this building is the bus terminal. You go in there and get your ticket from most places, and then the bus is on over here on the street. So from here, depending on where you're headed, and again, you should know, have a general location where you're headed, your Airbnb or your hotel, based on, the location of the promenade. But basically all you do from here is you head straight from the bus, is head straight downhill. You're gonna hit the promenade. Now over here is a Credens Bank. Now Credens was always, see the blue and yellow there? Credens has been the go-to ATM, had no fees. I just used it the other day and it looks like they're doing fees now, so I've got to sort that out still. Not really sure what's going on there. So you can see that's the bus to Triana. So if you coming or going, that's where you'll land. And then there's other buses to other cities a little farther up the road. Again, plenty of taxis here. It's super easy. There's always taxis here. If you need a taxi, this is a good place to go. This is a great little park. There's a nice, decent fast food right here behind on the other side of the park. And this bar here, I always forget the name of this bar, SOS bar. This is probably my favorite place to grab a quick cup of coffee, some Wi-Fi. If you just get off the bus, you need to orientate yourself. If you go down here on the right, like the next set of stairs, when you turn right, there's a great little cafe, and he makes an actual cup of coffee, not espresso, but an actual cup of coffee that is, pretty legit. So that's pretty much, your orientation to Saranda. From here, there's little markets everywhere. There's bars and cafes everywhere. Again, the promenade is straight down there, or you can go down there and turn right. There's hotels, Airbnbs everywhere. But you can kind of get a grasp here and see how vertical the city is. It just goes up like this. So this road will go around, and then you go up another level, and it goes around, go up another level, it goes around. I think there's like 5 or 6 levels that people recognize. I was staying on the 3rd level for a while, and it was about 200 steps down to the beach. To give you kind of a perspective, the staircase was about 200 stairs down from Ruga Lefter to the beach where I was at. And I don't know what else you would need to know getting off the bus or getting off the ferry. It's a real easy town. You don't have to worry about crime other than, simple stuff. Yeah, I don't know what else you would need to know getting off the bus or showing up in Saranda, Saranda. It's pretty easy town to get around. If you're gonna go to Samil, you can catch the bus at the other spot I showed you, or you can also catch it right here at the SOS bar. That bus gets really packed because it's cheap. So, not only are there locals trying to work, but trying to get to and from work, but it gets flooded with tourists too. So my opinion is if you're a tourist, always try and give up your seat to a local, and obviously elderly. But that's just my opinion. It's a 30-minute, 35-minute ride depending on traffic. But I can't tell you, this town is so easy. Everybody either speaks English or can facilitate transactions, good enough in English. A lot of people speak Italian because of the proximity. A lot of people speak other languages. There's many languages here, and it blows me away how it's a tourist area. So a lot of these vendors, they've been here 10, 20, 30, 40 years. They can transact in almost any language. But it's a beautiful little city. It's super easy. Again, crime is not to be worried about. I was laughing because I was standing right over here, I don't know, 2 months ago, and this lady from Arizona, they were asking me directions, and they got off a boat, off a cruise ship. She pulls her mask down and leans in, and she's like, is it safe here? I I already knew they're from Arizona. I just laughed my ass off. I'm like, wait, you're from Arizona and you're in Albania asking if it's safe. That's the silliest thing I've heard in my life. Well, not really, but definitely in the last 6 months, that's probably the silliest question I've heard. I may or may not have done a video or will do a video about the safety in Albania, but don't worry about crime. Obviously, you have to worry about pickpockets and shit like that everywhere, but this isn't like California where people are gonna stop you for your goods. There's no violent crime to speak of. Nobody's gonna mug you. Obviously, there's exceptions to every rule. So I was saying nobody's gonna mug you, and I was also saying there's exceptions to every rule. So just, I will say this is one of the safer cities I've been in my travels. You can walk around with your phone in your hand and not worry about it. There might be some tourists here who might try and take advantage of you, but the locals will do more to protect you than victimize you. The locals go way far out of their way to protect you. It just blows me away. I've had money fall out of my pocket without me knowing it. People come up and return it. It's that type of culture here. And I don't really have good words to express just how caring and compassionate the locals are, how much they want to interact with you and talk to you. So if you see a scowl, don't take it as a scowl. It's just, probably don't know you. So they're like, that's how they don't know you. I found in Albania, generally, when people are giving me a facial expression that, kind of like, I'm like, well, are you mad at me? You smile and say hi, and they 180 degrees. It's just the weirdest thing in the world to me. I haven't seen that in many places. Normally, what you see is what you get. Here, it's, when you're interacting with people, what you see isn't what you get. You have to say hello first. And once you say hello, then you'll find out, everywhere you go, people are going to like you or not like you. It's just the way it is. But I found here, was feeling unliked by a lot of locals. And I smile, wave, and say hi, and totally, changes the demeanor and everything. And I haven't seen that change in a lot of places. So the only reason I talk about this is if you're walking around and you're getting a, less than optimal response from other people, look in the mirror and, take responsibility for that response and get the response you want, because you're here on vacation. You're not here to cause problems. You're not here to, fix the world. You're here on vacation. So, get the response you want by giving the response, giving out what you want to get back. Anyway. So it's about 7 in the morning, and that's the port over there where I was just at. The rest of the city's here. You can see people are already setting up on the beach. They're out there about, some as early as 6, but they're out there staking their claim to the best spot on the beach. And then there's a bunch of boats there. That's also where the fishing area is, or the fish market area is in the morning, but those boats go out on cruises at night and other adventures. But just a beautiful scene here. If the promenade is not enough of a workout for you to walk back and forth, all you have to do is go up a few streets. There's plenty of stairwells. You add in a couple hundred stairs and all of a sudden that short walk becomes a good workout. But yeah, you can see the sun's just starting to come down. It's gonna be a beautiful Saturday. Hope yours is great. Take care. see a couple of the pirate ships there that go out at night for cruises on the bay. And then also there's that bouncy fun park or whatever for kids to play in the water. Pretty legit setup. I mean, can't imagine having something that fun when I was a kid. You know, we had rocks and stuff to jump off, not fun, safe, bouncy structures in the water.